Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Pz.Kpfw Ausf D. It's a Tier 4 German medium tank. It's located on the north spawn of mines, and this one is under the command of BertholomaeusRexodus44x2 of the TLG clan. Well, this was the second version of the Panzer IV that they actually made. The first one was actually the Ausf A. And that actually had a short barrel gun because it was actually designed to be a panzer that would actually support the troops and knock out emplacements and other small vehicles. It was never designed to be actually used against other enemy tanks at all. So that wasn't its true purpose. In fact, the Panzer III was the tank that actually was intended to destroy enemy vehicles. And they were also developing that at the same time. Oh, that Panzer III Ausf is getting a pasting. Now, it's got a 75mm gun, and it's capable of 110 alpha and penetration of 103mm with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds, it can do 139mm. You can see his fire rate is actually quite good. You can see also the Panzer III Ausf E couldn't do much damage with the gun he's using. Okay, Matilda, watch out because that guy might fire back. He's got the, probably got the 2-pounder. Looks like it. Pull back. You need to pull back because he's pre-aimed. Yeah, he's aiming in our direction. Oh, and one of our Sawoods has decided to go, well, too far in. And as a result, he's actually now out the game, I think. Okay, we've got a Matilda at the back there, which we can hit. This gun's fairly accurate. It's not hugely accurate, but it is fairly. They started work on it in October of 1939, after the war had started, and then they actually finished work on it in May of 1940. And that date may sound familiar to you, because that's the date the Germans actually invaded the west of Europe, and that's when they started taking over countries like Holland, Belgium, and of course France. Now, at the time, they didn't realize that the Ausf A wasn't as good as all that because it didn't have very good armor. The Ausf D does have much better armor, but it's still not good compared to other tanks. Just got hit by a Largo. He needs to get into cover quick, otherwise he's going to start taking a lot of damage. Dives for the wall there and gets to it. Now he needs to get rid of that T6 medium because that guy could do a lot of damage to him from that position. Yep, got one in, and the kill shot goes to the M2 medium. Okay, there's the Largo. Does take a little while to dial in on the aim. You can see here, this is early in the war, so at the time they didn't have guns that would dial in very, very quickly. So it took a few seconds for you to get the aim in. Now he's chosen to go this way so he can use the buildings as cover. He also wants to have a look and see if there's any enemy tanks making their way up this side of the map. Okay, he's coming up behind the Largo. Oh, deciding which side he's going to go. And there he is. Okay, now he's got the ground in his favour at the moment, the Largo, but not for long. And he goes in for the ram, gets some damage off the ram, but he also takes some damage from that Largo as well. I'm not sure if he's got controlled impact on his crew. It does help to have that. That reduces the amount of damage you take from ramming. Now, it does have good gun depression, this tank. It's got 10 degrees, so you can use it on ridgelines. And the turret is fairly strong, even if the hull is not as strong as it could be. There's only 5 enemies left in this game. You can see there are Matilda, an M3 Stuart, a Panzer III Ausf E ×2, and a Valentine. Of course, at Tier 4, some of the tanks are much lighter on the armour. Okay, he's just spotted the Valentine and the M5. He's not so keen to go to the cap at the moment. He wants to come up behind this Valentine and hit him in the rear. Oh, he's turned the other way round, but he gets him with one shot. He needed to get rid of the Valentine before he could go up towards the cap, and unfortunately, He got spotted by the cat tanks, and they managed to get around into him. He's facing a Panzer III Aslains, and I said that's the anti-tank tank of the Germans, the one that was supposed to fight. And it looks like this guy is basically focusing on someone else, because he's not firing at us, he's firing at our Valentine too. And of course, he's our platoon mate. Okay, there's the Matilda, one shot on the move. Of course, German tanks never used to shoot like that on the move. They would always stop and shoot, and that is the end of the game. It's always fun to see some of the lower tiered games, because you actually do find that after you've been in the upper tiers for a long time, if you've acquired a load of skills, and you can take them back to the lower tiers and find that, yes, you do pick up ace tankers. This was an ace tanker game for BertholomaeusRexodus. In fact, not just any ace tanker game. This was the first ace tanker game in the Pz. Ausf D. He also got a 5 for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. Master Gunner for getting 5 penetrating shots in a row, as well as a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 8 in that one, and he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall. His win rate was 13,794, which is super income and quite a bit more. But I suggest that it's probably the fact that BertholomaeusRexodus has acquired skills at the higher tiers, which means that now he's able to dominate in these battles. Let's have a look at team score. Well, easily got the high caliber. Look at that, 2,142 hit points. Second highest damage was the Matilda on his team, 1,761. And the third highest was the Matilda on the enemy team with 1,097. I suspect that was the guy who was sitting at the back of the map shooting away at anything that came into view, because the other Matilda, well, he got 600 hit points and was out the game. When it came to kills, we can see that BertholomaeusRexodus got the highest number of those with 4. 3 kills went to Sahariano, an Italian medium, and 2 kills went to Matilda Armada on his own team, and only 1 player on the enemy team managed to get 2 kills, and that was the guy who was up front in the Matilda, not the one that was sitting at the back. And when it came to base XP, only 1 player managed to get over 1,000 base. That was BertholomaeusRexodus. He got 1,002, with the second highest being the Matilda with 656, followed by the Sahariano, who managed 614. So he got the top in all columns in that game. 27 shots fired, 20 direct hits, 20 penetrations. You get plenty of ammo in this tank. It's 115 shells in total, so you can blast away to your heart's content. And of course, it's easier just to use standard ammo rather than the premium, because of course you do get decent penetration. You just need to know where to put the shells on some of the enemy tanks. For instance, the Valentine does have decent armor. As long as you hit him in the weak spot, you're okay. The same is true for the Matilda for that matter. 2,142 hit points of damage, of which 239 were at more than 300 meters. He received 7 hits from the enemy. 5 of those were penetrations, 2 non-penetrations, and 60 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 2 enemy vehicles were spotted, 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, 214 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he made a profit of 55,704 credits to the game. And he also took away 3,757 experience points out of it as well. This was actually his first game in the Ausf D, the Pz.Kpfw D. So getting an ace tanker and a high caliber shows how far he's moved on. A lot of people will actually move straight over tanks that ordinarily that they, in the past, they would have played through in order to get to the next step up the rung. But a lot of people have said, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'll just get the tier 5 of whatever vehicle is available on the German tech tree, and then I can ignore all of these tanks like this one, which would have been in the collector's tab, and not get that one, and instead find out about it later on. So I suspect you might find that you'll have a bit of fun if you go back and try out some of the tanks that you missed the first time around. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching!